Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. It is time for Trash Craft Tuesday, as you're probably aware. So today I am going to be doing a project making a journal topper for this journal. So I've put this journal together, it's not sewn in or anything, it's just the cover that I've made, and I've put together the signature. Using a kit from RachandBella Crafts called Vintage Pink is what it's called, and it's full of beautiful vintagey vibes with the pastel pink. It's just super pretty, really pretty. So I made this cover just from textured cardstock and a bit of scrapbook paper. The textured cardstock was just an A4 sheet and not big enough to do a cover by itself, and then it was quite thin. So I've sandwiched two bits together and then added in a spine with some scrapbook paper that I've folded over double, just to make that nice and strong. And I think it's a really nice cover, but it's a bit plain, isn't it? Yeah, let's face it, it's just a bit plain. So this is where my trash comes in. I'm using a top of a tissue box with the aperture where you pull the tissues out. Is going to be the base for my topper. So shall we get into it? I've got a rough plan, but not fully. So first off, I'll explain about those soon, but let's cut this down into what we need, because it's got the creases from the box, on the sides. We don't want those. So let's just take care of those first and then cut the height because it's too tall for the journal cover. And let's just get right down to business. And while I'm fluffing around here, trying to make sure I get it nice and straight, how's your week been? Or your weekend, really? It's just not far into the new week. But either way, how's your weekend been and how's your week going so far? Hopefully it's a really good one for you. Here it is cold and it's not raining at the moment, but I'm not sure if the rain's finished or not. So back to having the fire going, which is cozy, but it's also, like, I'd really prefer not to have to light the fire. Or not that I light it, but hubby lights it. But I much prefer it just to be nice warm weather. But we've got to take what we get, don't we? And we did need the rain, so that's good. It's going to make everything grow like crazy when it does warm back up. And it's, I've got to be honest, it's not super cold, like winter cold. It just feels like that because of the extremes between the warm temperatures we've had and what we've got now. But if this current weather was in the middle of winter, we would think that it's really warm and mild. It's all quite relative, isn't it? I've got a bit of residue on here from the plastic bit, that sits on the either side and stops your tissues from all being fully exposed to the exterior. Right, so how tall do I need this to be? I want to take some off the top and bottom. Now I also need to make sure that my page will fit. So maybe I need to do a couple of marks. Maybe there, and that's what, 1.5 centimeters. So about there maybe. Doesn't need to be exact. I'm not worried if this oval is in the center or not. Just roughly in the center is all good. It's also not straight, I see, from where I cut it out of the box, so that will take care of that as well. So yeah, I had quite a relaxed weekend. I was so tired, very tired. Saturday I needed to do a video, but I was just so tired. I was just sitting in my chair thinking I need to do a video and letting my eyes close, and it's just like my head would droop and it's like I just can't do it. And I was out for good portion of Sunday, which meant I had to do my video on Sunday afternoon for Monday. And it was interesting because I was just still so tired. So it was daylight savings kicked in here in New Zealand on, you know, early Sunday morning, like 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever it is. So you set your clocks forward an hour. So when you get up, you've lost an hour kind of in there somewhere. No problem getting up, but we were both so tired that we were in bed by 9:30, which, if it wasn't for daylight savings, would have actually been 8:30. So, like, we were just so tired, both of us. Normally we'd go to bed at 10, but yeah. So it was a full weekend, but it wasn't busy or running around or anything, apart from being out on Sunday. But it was just relaxed but full and tiring. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it was just a catch up sort of time. Right, now I'm going to, actually I was going to tear, but I don't need to tear because it's not going to make any difference. So it's probably quicker if I just trim it with the knife. I think I've got a handle on how to tear off these edges better and what I was doing wrong. So I'm not going to do that today, but I think I've sussed it. I still don't get it perfectly 100% of the time, but I certainly get it better than what I was doing it. You know, last time you would have seen me doing it on camera, where I just kept making such a hash job of it. But yeah, I think I've got the technique almost down pat, so that's good, because I do like the torn edge on certain occasions. So just going to trim these up. I wasn't sure which page I was going to go for this, so I printed off a few options, but I think I'm going with this one because it's just going to cover this bit of cardboard, and then the magic's going to happen in the middle, in the aperture. So hopefully I can get this done and not hold you up too long, not make too long a video. I've been getting a bit long lately, not all the time, like some of them are quite a bit shorter, but I've just been having so much fun with you guys on camera. I just forget what the time is and I'm just busy, and then it's like, oops, oh well. That's the way it goes. Okay, so what I want to do is cover the cardboard with this and then cut out the middle and wrap it around the inside. So I'm not going to worry about cutting out these jaggedy bits here where the tear strip from the tissue box was, because if I cover it, they're not going to be seen, and then I want to wrap it around the outside as well. Yep, so I've just got enough, I think, either side there. So I'm just going to tear that off. And now I could actually glue it to that side, which might actually be a better option. Can I see it through there? Not really. So I think that's probably a better option, just so this is a bit more slippery. So if I was gluing this to my cover, it might not adhere as well. So that's my thinking. So I am going to just use tacky glue for this, I think, just because it's easier, cleaner. I do want to make sure I get enough glue on there, and we're going to transform this bit of tissue box packaging into something really pretty. I hope. That's my goal. You can be the judge of whether I succeed or not. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be inspired to make some toppers out of your tissue boxes. Or something else. Maybe it will spark some other idea. Right, just pop that in there. Right, and for the middle, I'm just going to take my knife and make a slit. Actually, probably top to bottom for a start. And then across the middle, roughly, doesn't matter. And now I need to section this off so that when I fold it in, it kind of nicely follows the curve as nicely as it can, because the paper's straight and the curve is curved. So I'm just going to take sections, divide it into little sections here, and I'm just going to take it quietly a bit at a time and adjust where I might need to adjust. So I think I'll start with this quarter and see whether that's working. And this deeper curve is going to be the trickiest part. So maybe I'll start on the more gentle curve. And, okay, obviously we need to trim that down a little bit. And I'm starting with the tricky area first rather than doing the outside, which is easier. I'm doing the middle, because if it goes wrong and I need to start again or think again, then I haven't wasted my time doing the outside. So that's my thinking at the moment. Just trimming off those bits where I need to. Oops, throwing my glue around. It was a good catch though, it didn't make it to the floor. Is that okay in one? I think we'll get away with it. I think the next one I will have to cut into more pieces though, because this one is cutting across the curve a little bit, but I think I can live with it because I do have a plan to further embellish that rim. Right, so I'm going to make this one smaller. I've got a divot out of my fingertip there. It's really annoying, and it's not sore, but it's tender. I was hand sewing leather over the weekend, and the head of the needle kept digging into my finger, and it actually took a few layers of skin off. And so yes, it's feeling a bit. Yep, I'm going to need to go even smaller there. It's quite a deep curve. So it's definitely like a pressure point, if you like, of where you just need to take it a bit more carefully and do smaller slices. And I want to get as nice a finish as I can. Could do with a slight trim. So I have no idea what it looks like on the other side, and I'm kind of excited to wait and see what it's going to look like once I've done this. So I'm sorry if this is a tedious process for you, but you know, it's necessary. And I'm just going to go ahead and do that into the smaller sections. Again, I'm going to start at the easier section where it's a softer curve. So it's not going to be a smooth curve doing this. I'd have to take smaller sections to create a true curve. But I think it should work well enough. And if it doesn't, well, there's always things we can do to make it look better. So I didn't cut that right to the edge of the cardboard. There we go. I actually like projects like this where you get kind of detailed and a little bit fiddly. It's kind of what I like. It's fun. And it's entirely experimental. I haven't actually done a topper like this before. So, bringing you along for the journey. Using up the trash, the tissue box. Because I do like tissue boxes. They are a wonderful resource once you've exhausted your tissues out of them. Speaking of which, my nose is wanting to drip. See, it's cold. My nose is off and running again. Not bad, just enough to be annoying, particularly when I'm talking on camera. I seriously think I should get rid of the top on this bottle and just go for like a pin in it instead. So I don't have to worry about holding the little cap out the way. But I haven't. I'm still persisting. Because I'm thinking, would it actually be easier having to try and put the pin in every time? And I don't know. Don't know. Right, there we go. We're halfway there. So as I'm working around, I can tell I'm taking even smaller segments. That's okay. So what else can I update you on? Let's have a, well, I'm out later this week. I'm going to be out all day on Friday. Got our family lunch to go to, which will be really lovely. I haven't seen my mum for ages actually. I think since the last family lunch, since end of August. So it's been quite a while. So definitely overdue to catch up with my mum. You know, had the odd conversation on the phone or on Messenger, but it's just not the same, is it? So looking forward to catching up with her on Friday. And the lunch is actually at a place not far from where she lives, so I'll probably head back to her place and spend some time after the lunch, which will be really, really lovely. Because again, I haven't been to her place for, oh goodness, probably a good couple of months at least. So I know she'll really love that. So I must let her know actually, otherwise she might make plans. Yeah, so that's the end of the week, and I think the rest of this week coming, I am just going to be head up, bottom down, getting work done. I've got to get the newsletter ready to go out. I've got design team projects to work on. I've got Patreon printables to put together. What else have I got on? I think I've got more on than that. I'm just trying to remember everything. Yeah, I mean that's a lot all on its own. But yeah, so another busy week ahead. I am filming this on Monday, so it's, you know, it's my time to assess the priorities for the week. And of course videos, like you can't forget the videos. I need to record ahead for Friday. And just the rest of the videos to do, Patreon video of course as well, which is an extra one, over and above what public YouTube sees. Yeah, busy old week. Life has got very busy and I'm loving it because I get to do what I love doing, and that's always a blessing, to do what you love. And so after surgery, you know, I went through basically 3 months where I wasn't operating at all, wasn't doing anything, or doing very little. And now I'm like back into, I am starting crafting about 6:30 in the morning. We get up at 6 and then I stop depending how tired I am. On a regular day, I stop maybe 9:30 or maybe 10 o'clock. Just depends what I'm doing, whether I'm on a project that I want to keep going on, or whether I get inspired at the last minute and pick up something and start doing it. So I'm on the run. Like I am crafting up a storm all day, every day. So I'm taking the opportunities for Fridays to actually get out of the house, go and spend a day out of the house to make myself have a break and to see people, to socialize and, you know, hear something else other than my own voice. Although I watch a lot of YouTube, so I hear a lot of other crafters' voices. But, you know, just to remind myself there is a world out there passing me by, and I've got to connect with other people. So it's really nice actually spending the day at hubby's work, and I take all my fussy cutting and do what I can during the day. Sometimes I go shopping, sometimes I don't, sometimes I go for a swim, sometimes I don't, just depends. Right, now we're going to do the outside. Yes, just to get out of my own space, because I am an introvert, so it's all too easy for me to just sit at home every day, all day, doing my thing and loving it. But I don't think it's actually good to be like that all the time. I think it's really important to get out and see what's happening in the world, see what's happening with other people, what's up in their lives, keeping up those friendships, because I've got friends at hubby's work, you know, seeing them. So yeah, that's what I've been trying to do on Fridays, just to extend my world a little bit. Right, now we haven't got much overlap here, so I'm just going to use, oops, caught it between my legs. That was fortunate. Use this to crease it up to just help myself out a little bit there. I am super keen to see what this is going to look like. Are you curious? Are you excited to see? I definitely am. So we went yesterday, which was Sunday for me. We were up at my husband's parents' church, and they had a baby dedication. I haven't been to a baby dedication for a very long time, and it was so lovely. And this precious wee tot was born at 24 weeks. So she was super prem. Like she was only 500 grams or something when she was born. Like she was tiny, and that was 3 months ago, I think. And her adjusted age puts her at only, I think, 4 weeks old now. So even though she's like, I guess she's 4 months old now, like in reality, because she was born 4 months ago, but her adjusted age just puts her at 1 month old. And she's just the gorgeous, sweetest, tiniest little baby. Even at this age, she's so tiny, but doing really well. And she just was peaceful and quiet and super sweet all through it all. Didn't make a squawk, didn't complain, didn't, you know, having sprinkled water on her head. She just lay there. And her grandfather was the minister doing the dedication, so it wasn't like it was a stranger, which was lovely as well. And it was just really lovely. And then there was a shared lunch afterwards, so that was nice. Very nice to be up there for that. precious little girl named Iva. IVA. That's a Samoan name. It's really lovely and very special to be in that, be a witness to it in this precious wee life that could have gone very much wrong, you know, being born that early. Right, okay, I'm going to just clean these wee scraps off my desk so they're not in my way and not distracting me. And then we're going to flip this over and see what we've got so far. And I'm going to have a wee drink of my coffee. Suspense. This is where it's at. I'm keeping you in suspense. Right. Which way's up? Don't know. Oh, that way up. I got it the right way up. Oh, I love that. I think that's super pretty, just like that. I haven't finished, but you know, even if you just took that and then put something in behind. So I was toying with this bird from one of the pages. I'm just trying to grab it out here. This lovely bird here. You know, even if you took like that, it would be lovely. Or this wee girl here. This is another one I was contemplating. Like super sweet, just gorgeous. Right, so I'm going to take my ink and ink around this. Oops, I'm getting crumbs everywhere. So let's remove that from getting dirty. Because it is vintage pink, so vintage photo is going to suit this very, very nicely. And I'm going to go around the inside as well. So I've got a little kink there. That's okay. We can deal with that. Yeah, a few kinks, but by and large, I think they're really negligible. They're not going to show up that much, even if I were to leave them. Crumbs everywhere. Lovely. I love that. That's a great start. So for the next step, there is this, sorry for reaching, this lovely, beautiful little photo of a girl as part of the kit. It features as a fussy cut. It also features on one of the journal pages. And I really would like to incorporate her somewhere within this. I guess you could call it a frame. But we need things around her, don't we? So what do we want to put? We've got the other part of this page with that. It could actually work. Do we want more of this? I think this probably stands out slightly better. Trying to tuck her in under there. I'm not sure how I want her placed, but I want that. Oh, that's pretty. If I take that floral bit up the top there. Okay. Right, so I need to trim it down about there. Do I need to trim the other side? No, we're all good. I just need to do the top and bottom. So if we take that down about there, maybe a little bit up further, make sure we've got enough to glue it down, and then we can trim it there. So this is very much about building your scene that's going in our window. Now, do I want straight edges? Kind of actually like that. So I'm going to hold it in place and I'm going to just flip it up, put glue on one end, glue it down, and then lift the other and do it so I don't lose the positioning, because I'm really happy with how that's positioned. And you know, I'd never get it back in exactly the same place or the same way. And I haven't distressed it, that's okay. I would have if I'd remembered, but I didn't because I put it down and didn't want to shift it. It's okay. Won't matter. Just like that peak of those florals at the top there. Super pretty. Right. My coffee is rapidly getting cold. Have a quick little guzzle. So what I've got here is some cheesecloth, and I've gone and smushed it into my ink pads. So I did 3 colours. I did spun sugar in the distress ink. I did, what's it called? Vibrant fuchsia and coffee, both in the Ranger archival inks. I just kind of gathered it up and smushed it in and gave it a spritz of water and sort of kept moving it around. So it's got, you know, some darker colour in patches. It's got, still got some white. Just wanted to add a bit of colour. And what I'd like to do is just glue some around the rim, poking out and maybe in wrapping around in places. So not all the way around, just here and there, just to add a bit of texture, a bit of interest, and a bit of fun. So something like that. Maybe we want to take it a bit further around and disguise that bottom of the photo. Just like that. I'm going to snip that off. I have no idea where I'm gluing. I'm just going for it. It'll be fine. Okay, so we've got a random bit sticking out there. We don't need that. Get rid of excess. I'm going to keep the snippets. You can use those for something else. And I don't want it too bunchy up because I don't want it too bulky in the back there. So I'm just going to trim off that excess. Oops. So just playing with it. And then I want this to pop around the front. Yeah, something like that. I don't mind the bulk in the front. Dimension is what it's called in the front, not bulk. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Very, very happy with that so far. And so I want some more up here. So I've done, you know, coloured up way more than what I need, which is fine. Just go for another project, or maybe for tag toppers for the journal. Who knows? I probably snipped off a bit much there, but let's see. So we need some oh, that's so pretty. Right, I'm going to glue it down on the front first, and that will help guide where I'm laying it. It's the theory anyway. You know what would be pretty too? It would be like some cabochons, some faux gems or something. Right. Yep, that's certainly helping. It's helping it lie in the right place. So And once this is glued down to the top of the journal cover, it's going to help everything stay in place as well. So I'm not worrying about covering it all in glue, just getting enough down to hold it. I've got a bit of excess there as well. Obviously got glue residue on my scissors because the little bits are sticking to my scissors. And probably take off this little ridge here where it's all folded over. Little bits. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, am I ready to glue that on? Because I also want to add butterflies. There are butterflies as part of the kit, and they're pretty muted purple is how I'd describe them. Like, they're very purple, but I don't know. You decide for yourself. They're not a bright purple. I wouldn't call them a bright purple, but they're definitely purple. Oh, I was going to put that one on, but maybe it's a bit big now. Although, could actually come off onto the journal, couldn't it? Let's just see how that would work. It could still work. And I've got a word, there's some words in the kit, and I wanted that to come half over the frame. And then there's some smaller butterflies. Maybe we need another small butterfly. Rule of threes. No, that's the same size, is it? No, it's slightly smaller. Maybe the smaller one will be... Is it? Yeah, it is. Maybe the smaller one would work better. And on these small ones, I have actually cut the antenna off rather than leaving them intact. Put one up. Now, is that getting too much? I'm wondering. I want it slightly under the cheesecloth. I like that. Okay, so I think this one, I just need to take care of this white bit in between the wings. I don't know why I didn't cut that out when I was cutting them out, but never mind, it's only a little bit. We can take care of it. Oops, I didn't cut that straight. There we go. Let's ink around it. And I'm going to pop that under there. So let's glue that in place. I am super happy with how this is coming together. Isn't she just gorgeous? So adorable. Pop you under the butterfly. And I can just take a black pen and just draw in antennae. There we go. And gosh, my nose is driving me crazy today. Okay, the rest of those need to be glued on after the fact. So let's go ahead then. Now this is the tricky part. think, is getting glue in the right place. So I'm going to flip it up. And I'm going to go around the edge of my piece of paper, and you won't be able to see this so well. And then the inside of the oval. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. Oops, went a bit high there. I think I'm just right at the top of the aperture on that. But it's okay. It's not visible. There's no gap visible. And I'm going to flip it up this way and do the same. Hopefully you can see a bit better. And then just put a bit of those spaces in between. It's going to be sandwiched between the frame and the cover, so again, I'm not too concerned. Just don't want it to fall out or move. This is my main concern. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, I might change glues to glue it onto the cover, I think. Just going to bring across my glue pages here and get those antennae there. Take off that white. Lovely big butterflies, or moths, I'm not sure. We call them butterflies, don't we? There's moths, there's some beautiful moths, and I think all the biggest, what we would call butterflies, are actually moths, I think. Yep, I like that there. I'm just going to put some glue kind of in the middle. Maybe I didn't put any down there, so let's get a little bit on there. Okay. And I need to trim inside this wee one again. Ink. I was reaching for the glue and it's like, hang on, you haven't inked it. Right, pop that there. I'm trying to think, do I want to add any bling, any gemstones, cabochons, shiny things? Problem is I don't have anything really by me. I had thought about sewing this too, and I don't actually think I'm going to. You certainly could. I had thought maybe I'd sew around the oval, which would be an interesting adventure. But yeah, I don't think I actually need to. I think it's lovely as is. And then that wee butterfly up there. The sewing would look lovely though. Just put that slightly over that oval. Oh, so happy with this. Really, really happy. Right, now the crunch time is gluing it onto the cover. I can always come in later and add some gemstones or something, or some like liquid pearl type stuff. Yeah, anything along those lines. I can always come in later. But for now, I think I'm really happy with it. And if I need to sit on it for a little bit, not actually physically sit on it, but, you know, just let it be for a bit before I decide whether I want to take it any further, because I'm really happy with it as it is at the moment. And I don't, you know, don't want to add things for the sake of it, only if it will make it look better. And I would need to grab them out and place them and have a look. So I'm using my alcohol-based glue, giving it a good coating, because I know this will adhere really nicely to the cover. And it's going to be nice and strong and not go anywhere. Getting a really good coating on there. Gonna, I think, center it, give or take. Centering the rectangle, so I'm not worried about the butterfly overhanging or anything, because that's additional. Close my glue before it all comes out to say hello to everybody. Oops, I need to go in and glue down that wing. There we go. I am very, very happy with that. I think that is super pretty. I might just pop it under something, a couple of books or something, just to make sure it sticks down nicely. Maybe take the pages out of the middle so it can not be lumpy bumpy while it's gluing down. And there is my Trash Craft Tuesday project for today. A lovely, lovely journal topper using a tissue box and digitals from RachandBella Crafts. And the name of the kit again is Vintage Pink. So I'll pop all the links in the description box below. Super, super pretty. Really love the combination of the vintage and the pink. And I think these purple butterflies that come with the kit are just a beautiful addition, complement the kit. Really, really lovely. And I think it's an interesting choice, because I possibly, if I was doing this, I would have gone with pink, but I think the purple is just perfect. Really lovely. So there we go, guys. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're inspired by this project. Hop along, check out the Vintage Pink digitals or any of the other digitals that RachandBella Crafts has. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.